So why are we here?
Was there something here you needed to see?
I said nothing and instead made my way over toward the cabinet. Inside was a luminol. I reached in and pulled it out, then headed to the light switch and flipped it. The room went dark and I headed back to where the others were still standing.
Whoa, what is this? You gonna start telling ghost stories or something?
Why, you scared of ghosts?
You're kidding me, right?
Then show me how brave you are. Stick out your bracelet. You two, Fire, please.
Our bracelets?
Yeah. I want to see the underside of them.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, the side on the bottom. The side that doesn't have the display on. Come on, you really gonna make me explain this?
I know what you mean. What I'm asking is what the hell you think you're...
Just do it. It's not hard.
Should I also participate?
No, you're fine, Kay. Your bracelet is a little different from ours. But I'll join in just to make it fair. There was a brief moment of hesitation before Dio and Fire stuck out their arms. I held mine out as well, wrist pointed upward.
This okay?
Yeah, just hold it like that for a moment. As fast as I could, I pulled the luminol from my pocket and sprayed it across all three of our wrists.
Ugh. Cold. What the hell, man?
Dio jerked his arm back with a shout. Don't see anything glowing. Fire's bracelet is clean. So's mine, of course.
That leaves only Dio.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I'll explain in a minute. Just show me your bracelet. Is something wrong? Just show it to me. Come on, Dio. We don't have time for this.
Why do I have to do what you tell me to?
Because I'm trying to prove your innocence.
Oh, like hell you are. I don't know what you're looking for, but you're not gonna find it on me.
Then just show me your arm.
No! You don't get to order me around, I have rights!
As he spoke, Dio made a break for the exit. He didn't get far.
I'm afraid I can't let you do that, Dio.
He spun around toward the other exit. Stop him!
Right!
Don't know what you're talking about, but okay.
All three of us leapt at Dio. Yep, it's glowing. I knew it. His bracelet's glowing. Then that means...
Let me go! Get off of me, you fuckers!
Dio, you killed the old lady.
No! You don't understand. This is all some kind of... a mistake. Shit.
What's going on here? I think it's about time you gave us the full story.
As quickly as I could, I explained to Fire what Kay and I had noticed on the old woman's wrist.
So the person with the bloody bracelet would have to be the person who killed her.
Yeah, exactly. Even if they'd wiped it off, I figured the luminol would still react to the blood. Yeah, they don't go into full details, but... We were in this room earlier and done the escape room here, and they used the luminol on the pool table to help us with a clue. I solved the puzzle without it, but I sprayed the luminol on the pool table, turned the lights off, and it lit up still, so... Maybe turning the lights off turns on a black light? Who knows? Looks like I was right. We've got you, Dio. You might as well confess. Well...
Alright, fine. You caught me. I did it. I killed the old bitch and took her bracelet.
Why?
Are you Zero?
No. I was under orders. I was sent here to do something.
Yep, I guess so. When we escaped with him, he told us that he was in orders to come here and participate. To do what?
Who gave you this order?
I'll die before I tell you.
So your orders were more important than Alice and Luna's lives?
Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I killed the old lady, but that's it. I don't know anything about what happened to Alice and Luna.
That wasn't you?
Tread carefully, Sigma. This man is not to be trusted. He has already shown he is willing to lie and kill.
Come on, I'm telling the truth. You gotta believe me.
Even if we do believe you, you're still a killer. You just haven't killed as many people.
Exactly. He should be restrained somehow. If we leave him be, he may well kill again.
But where would we put him?
Is there a room we can lock or anything?
Ah, perhaps we could put him in one of the treatment pods. Once we've locked it, he should be unable to escape.
Oh yeah.
Hey, wait! I'll be good, I promise.
Yeah, I think you're onto something, Kay. Let's go with that.
Come on, please. Hey, listen to me.
We'll let you out when the white doors open. Someone's going to need your bracelet to open the secondary door.
Don't fuck with me, you guys. There's no way in hell I'm going in that thing. Let go! Let me go! God damn it! I told you assholes to let me go! You can't do this! Stop! Stop! Please stop! Please! No, you can't! Ah! Open this fucking thing!
How far down are we in the line now? There. Still got heaps to go.
I said open it, goddammit!
I don't think so.
You're gonna pay for this! When I get out of here, I'm gonna fucking end you!
So, I guess we figured out who the murderer was. And we found Quark.
Now all that's left to do is find Clover and Tenmyoji.
Yeah.
Why don't we head back to the warehouse and start from there? They may have already returned.
Good
Let's
point.
go.
Huh? Looks like they aren't back yet.
Perhaps they went to look for us.
Oh man. Now we've got to look for them.
How much time until the white doors open?
50 minutes.
Then I don't think we really need to hurry yet. Why don't we wait a little longer?
Yeah, there's still time.
For all we know, they're on their way back right now.
I'd probably go back through the doors that they're supposed to be looking through because they're taking a long time. Kay and I nodded.
By the way, there was something I wanted to ask you guys about.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Quark's bracelet. When we found him in the pod, he wasn't wearing it.
Yeah, we noticed that too.
Why?
How should I know?
Presumably, it had been taken off before we found him.
So we have no idea where it is.
Pretty much.
I see. That's not good.
Because Quark's got a number 9 bracelet. Whoever's holding it could leave. Actually, no, they couldn't because they've still got their bracelet on.
Without that bracelet, we won't be able to continue the game.
What?
We need 3 bracelets to open the secondary door. If we lose one...
Oh no. we wouldn't be able to go through the secondary door.
Yeah.
Who would be pairing up with Quark?
Quark's bracelet should be a red solo. That would mean he'd be with the cyan pair.
Who's a cyan pair?
Clover and Tenmyoji.
The two people who are missing.
Quark's bracelet is gone, and his two teammates have disappeared.
What's going on? Does that mean Clover and Tenmyoji took the bracelet?
Well, if they found Quark before you did, yeah, there's a good chance they did.
Then why aren't they back yet? Tenmyoji wouldn't have left Quark there by himself either.
Perhaps they've already gone through the white door.
No, because that hasn't opened yet. They can't yet. What? No, that's not possible. The primary doors haven't opened yet.
Perhaps someone opened one of them.
How?
I don't know, but it's happened before. Remember the 3 doors on the other side of the green door? Someone made one of them open. Perhaps this is the same thing.
But that's against the rules.
Yes, I know. But if the person opening the doors is Zero Senior, do you really think the rules matter? Zero Senior controls the entire game.
So are you saying Clover or Tenmyoji is Zero Senior?
It is a possibility. It would explain why they still haven't shown up.
Could they really have taken Quark's bracelet and gone through one of the white doors?
If they did, we won't know where they went until the doors open for the rest of us.
So I would assume.
This is still all just speculation though. Maybe we should go look for them again. One of us can stay behind so that we don't miss them if they come back.
Okay, I'll stay.
Sigma and I will go see if we can find them then.
Make sure you get back 5 minutes before the door opens, all right? Oh, and don't forget to bring Dio with you.
Of course. This is the pantry.
So it would appear.
Well, looks like they're not here.
When we started looking for Quark, they were sent off to search everything beyond the red door, which would have meant this room.
Not gonna do us any good to hang around here though. Let's head upstairs.
Very well.
No one here either, huh? Tenmyoji loves scotch so much. I thought we might find him here drinking some. It was around that time that I noticed Kay was acting strangely. He was staring at the shelf of alcohol in a way that I probably would have described as blankly if I could have actually seen his eyes. Hey, what's up? You want a drink?
Oh, no. Well, I would enjoy a drink, but this mask...
Right. Sorry, that sucks. Honestly, I'd forgotten to you. Honestly, I'd gotten so used to the suit, I'd kind of forgotten you were wearing it. Why the heck did they make you wear that thing anyway? You still don't remember anything?
Well, actually, I did remember a little.
Really?
Yes,
What did you remember?
my father.
When did you remember that? Did it just pop out of nowhere? Was that a spelling mistake? When did you remember that?
Please, don't joke.
Okay, so Sigma did say that.
This is serious.
Sorry. So you remembered who your father was?
Yes,
What about your mum?
I don't seem to have one.
Oh. So your dad raised you.
Well,
Kay stopped for a moment, then calmly folded his hands in front of him.
I was raised in the facility where my father worked.
They're still showing him wearing the mask.
He was the only person who worked there,
Or the suit.
which meant he was the only person I saw until I was older. That had been the situation for as long as I could remember, though, so I never thought it odd.
He wouldn't allow me to go near him while he was working, but the only times he wasn't working were the times when he was sleeping. As such, the only communication I had was with the education software he'd given me. I suppose I was a fairly expressionless child then. We developed body language to communicate with others, and with no one else to communicate with, I suppose it makes sense. Once I learned to read and write, I began to realize that my situation was not normal. No idea who Kay is. Many of my books mentioned a mother as part of a family, and in several, the mother, father, and children would eat meals together and talk to one another. Soon I found myself longing for a mother of my own. Someone who would always be with me, who would scold me if I did something wrong. At night they would read to me before bedtime. If only I had a mother like that, I thought, I would be so happy. So, for the first time in my life, I asked my father for something. He had finished working and, as usual, was making his way toward his bedroom when I stopped him and asked for a mother. He looked at me silently for a long moment before finally responding, "Okay." I remember to this day how happy I was at that moment. A few months later, he called me into his laboratory. It was the first time he had ever done anything like that. My heart was beating quickly as I stepped inside. Standing next to him was a young woman, and my hopes soared. But when he said her name, or rather her ID number, they were dashed. He had given me a robot to play the part of a mother. I didn't want a mother that was just a machine who did what a human told her to. When I told my father that, he looked surprised for the first time in my life. Then he frowned, coughed, and admonished me for being a whiner. No. So, don't know if you saw it. I'll just turn off the screen capture for a second. The rabbit on the screen there is Zero Junior. Is the AI Zero Junior. Zero Senior is supposedly one of the people in the game. K might be Zero Senior. We don't know. We don't know who Zero Senior is. He'd never scolded me for anything before. At first I was surprised, then angry. Hot tears streamed down my face. My father ordered the robot to take care of me and shooed us out of his lab. The robot was very convincing and she smiled and spoke as if she was a real person, but I refused to answer her and locked myself in my room. You can talk to a robot and it will respond. But in the end, you're still talking to a machine, not a person. If that was what I'd wanted, I still had the education software my father had given me. When I ignored the robot as I tried to take care of me, it looked sad. It couldn't really be sad, of course. It was only programmed to look that way. A robot's facade of sadness didn't mean anything to me. After that, I stopped expecting anything from my father. We'd never really spoken to begin with, so it was easy enough for me to make sure we never saw one another. I lived my life as if he didn't even exist. Perhaps it seems strange to you that I continued to live with him, but I never considered leaving. Perhaps in the hidden depths of my heart, I longed for a relationship with my father. Everything changed when I was 18. I left my room one morning to find a woman standing outside of it. She was the first human I'd ever seen, apart from my father, and I was understandably surprised. For a moment, I thought my father had created a new robot, but when I told her that she laughed and explained that she had come to help him. As it turned out, she was a very mysterious person. She was much older than I was, but something about the way she behaved was almost girlish. She would tell me stories about the world outside in such a way that I was never sure if she was telling the truth or making up fantastic lies. Ultimately though, the truth didn't matter. I loved her stories. She wasn't helping my father directly with his research, so I spent most of my days with her. Before long, I discovered she'd known my father when he was young. She told me stories of how he'd fallen in love as a younger man, and I began to imagine that the person he'd fallen in love with had been her, and that she was, in fact, secretly my mother. After she settled in with us, our long-established routine began to change drastically. First, we started to eat together. Before then, I had never shared a meal with anyone in 18 years. She scolded me for my table manners, or more accurately, the lack thereof. If I was going to eat with others, she said, I would need to be more polite. Having eaten alone for my entire life, manners had never been something I'd ever even thought about. My father got in trouble too when he made the mistake of reading through research papers during dinner. The look of surprise and embarrassment on his face made me burst into laughter. I couldn't remember the last time I'd shared a laugh with my father. It might have been the first time. The room was considered our living room change too. Before it had just been another room, but she made it comfortable. After we finished our dinner, I would sit on the sofa and relax with her and my father. Those times were the ones I cherished the most. For a little while every day, I got the family I'd longed for ever since I was a child. After her suggestion, I started to help with my father's research. He specialized in genetic engineering, and I discovered I had an interest in it as well. Time faded away as I lost myself in research. Now that we were working and studying together, my father and I had a great deal to talk about. For the first time in my life, we began to speak with one another like a father and son. Whenever impressed him with something I'd learned, I felt a surge of happiness, and it drove me to study even harder. My days felt full, right, and meaningful, but most importantly, I was happy. 4 years passed in the blink of an eye, until one day I happened to overhear my father and the woman speaking in the laboratory. Their tone was serious, so I listened closer. Curious to know what they were talking about, that was when I heard her say that she planned to give her life to achieve their goals. She kind of looks familiar. It's a bit hard to tell from that angle, but she looks like the lady that we found dead. It was clear that she wasn't being metaphorical. She would have to die. I was in shock. The research I had thrown myself into would lead to her death? I asked my father to stop his research immediately. He refused to listen. She agreed with him. She told me that she had been prepared for what she had to do since the day she came to our facility. My father had known about it from the beginning as well. Angry and disappointed, I began to investigate what exactly the research I'd been helping with was working toward. Perhaps, I thought, I could figure out a way to keep her alive. I discovered much more than I'd bargained for. To begin with, I learnt that the ultimate success of my father's research would require a good deal of sacrifice. And I also learned that my own existence was just another part of his project. I had been created to function as my father's spare. If he died during his research, I was indeed intended to continue it in his place. I was stunned. I was furious with my father and with her, and even with the research I'd poured myself into for 4 years. There was only one thing to do: destroy the facility and end my father's horrible research once and for all. I made plans to destroy the main reactor and with it the entire facility, but she saw right through me. My father was livid, and locked me in my room until his research was complete. All I could think of was how I might stop him. She did her best to convince me that I'd misunderstood, that everything would be fine. As much as I wanted to believe her, I remembered in the back of my mind that she had been the one who pushed me to become involved in my father's research. Had that been an earnest desire to give me something to do with my life? Or still, I couldn't bring myself to hate her. She had given me a reason to live. Even if she had conspired with father to mould me into his replacement, the warmth she'd shown me had been real. She'd made me feel as if I had a real family, and that was something I wanted. I wouldn't have given up for the world. I pleaded with her to leave, but she quietly shook her head. There was someone very special to her, she told me. He had saved her life once, and she felt her death would help to repay that favour. She would have liked nothing more than to marry him and live a happy, normal life together. But she couldn't, for his sake, she said, and for the sake of the future she had wanted. She was determined to see my father's research succeed. I realised that although she was the most important person in my life, there was someone more important than me in hers. She tried to explain that beyond what we could see was a future where no one would have to die, but I refused to listen. What good was a potential future to me? It was what I had now that I wanted. I couldn't stand to think that she would give her life for a man I'd never even seen. So I shut myself off from the world. Perhaps that is why I lost my memory. That was a lot. Kay backstory. Kay let out a deep, tired sigh.
I'm sorry. I lost track of time.
It's okay.
Not having any memories is less than desirable, but it could be argued that regaining them is almost more taxing.
Thanks for the hydrate there. I think I need it after all that reading. And done.